We want to say something strong here. We are going to push this reset button today. It's our promise that you're going to get this because we know it so powerfully and you're willing to listen. And in the hours that we are together, you will find resonance with your point of power. But we want you to know that it only lasts a day, because tomorrow you have to get on that high-flying disc again. And the next day, you want to get on that high-flying disc again. And we want to say to you that you were born on it. How do I get on the high-flying disc? Well, you were born there. I know, but that was a long time ago. Now how do I get on it? Well, you have the potential of being on it every morning unless you remember something unpleasant from yesterday. In other words, when you wake up, what disc do you jump on? Oh, yeah, I got to go to work. Yeah. Going to be a lot of traffic today. Better hurry. Oh, it's going to be hot again today. Or maybe you wake up into a household full of confusion and you just want to pull the pillow over your head and not get up. We want you, before you go to bed or before you go to sleep, to pre-pave your morning and say to yourself, in the morning, I'm going to wake up on the high-flying disc and I'm going to acknowledge that I'm there and I'm going to milk it as best I can. Now, you might not make it till breakfast. You might not even make it till you get out of bed. Esther has begun saying, she's been doing this for about 6 weeks now. And after about day 20, it became really, really easy to do. And she began saying to herself, oh, I'm awake. A startling and profound announcement to herself. I'm awake. For a while she'd say, damn, I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. Am I going to go back to sleep? Because sometimes she has the luxury of doing that. Or am I going to get up? Now, this was an important thing for her to acknowledge, because if she's going to go back to sleep, she doesn't want any thoughts to get going, except thoughts of slumber. But if she's going to get up, she wants to make sure that the thoughts that she's thinking are thoughts that will be valuable to her. She wants to make sure that they are high-flying thoughts. And so usually she begins with some strong statement of appreciation of something that's very easy for her to appreciate. It doesn't take much. It only takes 17 seconds in order to begin your day. You've been saying for a long time, or maybe they've been saying for a long time before you got here, or maybe none of you have ever said this before in your life. Getting out of bed on the right side, or getting off on the right foot. That's what we're really talking about. Establishing your vibrational point of attraction first. Because we want you to understand that if you choose it first, it's so easy to get that positive momentum going. But if you wait until you've, without meaning to, by default, picked up and carried over some negative momentum, then it's harder for you to shift from that negative momentum. We like the analogy. Esther remembers so vividly her first seeing of the streets of San Francisco. She could not believe it. Standing there in real life person at the top of that hill and realizing that cars actually drove down and up those hills. She couldn't believe it. She thought it was madness. Imagine your car's at the top of one of those hills. Your parking brake is off. Your car is out of gear. And just for fun, you decide to teach yourself a lesson about momentum. So you nudge your car from the rear, and then you realize that it's beginning to move, but you catch it in the early stage because you were not really wanting to teach yourself the whole lesson, just a little bit of the lesson, and you step right out in front of the car and it bumps up against you and it stops because the momentum was so slight that it did not take much to slow that momentum. But can you imagine what it would be like? Don't try too hard to be at the bottom of that hill stopping that momentum. That momentum would carry you into unwanted experience. And that really is what we want to talk about, momentum, because law of attraction is the perpetuator of momentum. But you get to choose the direction of your momentum. And most of you are not doing that deliberately. You're just letting conditions that surround you that you might be observing be the reason for the momentum getting going. And then law of attraction just keeps it going until you hear someone like us say you create your own reality, and you say, that can't be true. If I really got to create my own reality, I would create a different reality, Abraham. And we say, you may very well, want to create a different reality, and you absolutely have the ability to do it, because there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. You have the ability to get the momentum going. You have the ability to keep the momentum going. You have the ability to know when the momentum is in the direction that you don't want. You have the ability to slow unwanted momentum. You have the ability to speed wanted momentum. You have the ability to do all of it. You've just got to understand how you do it. And you have to understand momentum. We think you understand momentum, don't you? Acknowledging the high-flying disc and deliberately staying there and beating the drum of it and practicing it through the day. Even if you fall off, you will. Even if you fall off, get on again. Even if you fall off, tomorrow get on. Even if you fall off, tomorrow get on. Until eventually Esther said, Abraham, I refuse to accept that I have to wait until tomorrow to get back on the high-flying disc. You've given me too many tools. I like it on the high-flying disc. I'm going to be on the high-flying disc. I don't care what it takes to be on the high-flying disc. Even if I have to feel good, I'm going to be on the high-flying disc. And after a while, it just becomes such a steady point of attraction that you begin to feel like the invincible creator of your own reality that you are. Because you are the creator of your own vibrational offering. Because you have guidance to let you know. You have guidance to let you know. So there are two ways of knowing what disc you're on. First is how you feel. Next is what's manifesting around you. Those are the indicators. So this message is not about scolding you about being on anything other than the high-flying disc. You get to be wherever you want to be, and sometimes being on those lower discs is really a clarifying experience. For a while, Esther was hard on herself when she knew she was not on the high-flying disc. She would be really mad at herself for not having the self-discipline to stay there. And we would say to her once she would come back into earshot of us, Esther, these are not negative moments. These are not bad moments. These are not wrong moments. These are clarifying moments. And how wonderful it will be for all of you when you're consistently hanging out on that high-flying disc. And then you have those little clarifying dips that just keep parlaying you into more and more and more clarity about who you are and what you want. Life is supposed to feel good to you, and it's not supposed to feel good later. It's not about planning that vacation or looking forward to retirement or waiting for your dream mate or your dream home or your dream vacation. It's not about waiting for something good to happen. It's about being in a place that the good stuff can rendezvous with you right now, you see. And you have the ability to control your vibration so that good stuff is rendezvousing with you right now. And you're going to reach the place where you're even willing to say the stuff that you didn't think you wanted that rendezvoused with you was still good stuff. Because out of it comes clarity. Out of it comes expansion. Out of it comes more potential for more good feeling. You have control of the way you feel. Therefore, you have control of everything that comes to you. Therefore, you are the creator of your own reality. We just want it to be fun along the way. Esther began writing, I'm having fun on my way to that. Because she discovered that was a big piece. Because if you want to be someplace that you're not, and you're aware that you're not, in your awareness that you're not where you want to be, what do you feel? Negative emotion? And if you're feeling negative emotion, what's your point of attraction? And if you're not on the disc where you're going to rendezvous with what you want, and you're on a disc where you're going to rendezvous with what you don't want, you're sort of kind of getting how this is. But what if you don't have yet in manifested form what you want, but you're having fun on the way to what you want? If you're having fun on the way to what you want, then what disc are you on? If you're having fun on the way to what you want, then you're on that high-flying disc. And then on your way to what you want, you're having a whole lot of fun with a whole lot of other things that you want too, you see. But if you're bummed out about not having what you want, then what disc are you on? And if you're on that bummed out disc, there's grumpy and happy and sleepy and bummed out. So if you're on that disc where you just don't feel good, then what is your point of attraction? What's your emotion telling you? What's disappointment telling you that you're headed toward? You see. So do you like knowing that you can control the way you feel? Do you believe that you can control the way you feel? And do you hear us when we say your best chance of controlling the way you feel, of controlling your vibrational output, is by starting in the morning when the momentum is slow and then getting it going in the direction of that which you're wanting. So here you are amidst contrast. But contrast is for clarification, not to beat you up. And the reason that sometimes it feels to you like the contrast of your life is beating you up is because you have not learned to manage your own vibrational relationship with that broader part of you. Some of you would say, well, if Source is so smart and source is, then why isn't source managing the contrast between us better? And we say, because you have the free will to sift and sort and choose and offer vibrational frequencies. You are a transmitting and receiving mechanism, first and foremost. So when you think a thought, you have the right to think that thought. Law of attraction will bring things like that thought to that thought. Within 17 seconds of you focusing on something, another thought like it joins it. And that's momentum. You hold it for another 17 seconds in that thought vicinity, and another thought joins it. More momentum. By the time you cross the 68-second mark, there is enough momentum in your thought to establish your point of attraction. And that really is what we want to talk about all day, every day with you. We want to talk about your point of attraction. And what your point of attraction means is you and what you're emanating, and therefore what law of attraction is bringing back to you. That's all that it means. Your point of attraction means everything, because your point of attraction is you letting in or not letting in, you allowing into your experience things that are a vibrational match to your habit of vibrational offering. Most people have no awareness of their own vibrational offering. A belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. A belief is a vibrational offering. So if when you were born, your parents were feeling money shortage and they spoke it to you on a pretty regular basis, before long, you began to believe their belief. Now, the reason that you began to believe their belief is because they demonstrated their belief all day, every day. Because they believed in not enough money, they did not have enough money. So you weren't making it up. You weren't just picking some unwanted thing out of the air and making it your belief. They believed it, they demonstrated it, you observed it, then you began demonstrating it. So you created the reality of the belief. But it didn't start out as a reality for you. It started out as someone else's reality, which you then observed. In the early days of Esther interacting with us, Esther and Jerry, they would say to us, but mostly Esther, Abraham, I know you don't think that I should be thinking about this or talking about this or watching this on television, but it is true. And since it is true, doesn't it deserve some of my attention? And we said, you have the free will to give your attention to anything that you desire. And there is nothing that is off limits. There is nothing that will go wrong. But it is of advantage to you if you understand that whatever you are giving your attention to, you will eventually make your reality. You will make it your truth. So it isn't that there are things that are believable that you then believe only. While that is true, there are things that are happening that as you focus upon them become your beliefs. It is that you are the creator of reality and your beliefs are what are creating your reality. And so we just want to say that a belief is just a really practiced thought. So we think you understand that. In fact, we can feel that you even accept that. You accept that you create your own reality, don't you? So as you are standing in your now, whether you are thinking about the past, memory, or whether you are exploring the present through observation, or whether you are imagining into the future, you're doing it right now. And right now, while you're doing it, you're offering a signal that law of attraction is responding to. So it doesn't matter if it's the past or the present or the future that you are contemplating. Your contemplation and the vibrational content of that contemplation matters. In fact, it's everything. It's your point of attraction. What a good day. What a high-flying good day. So, what do you now know that you didn't know a few hours ago? Because we believe that in the beginning of this day that you knew that this is a vibrational universe, conceptually. And we believe that you knew that you are the creator of your own reality, conceptually. And we believe that you knew that contrast was providing the specific details of your desire, and that when we asked that opening question, do you know what you want, that question formulated within